the song of the garden. After exploring the secret pathways, a gentle melody reached your ears, soft and delicate. As if the garden itself were singing a lullaby, the sound was subtle, carried on the rustle of leaves, the gentle trickle of water, and the soft hum of magical energy that surrounded you. You realized you had arrived at the heart of the garden, where the song of the garden resonated in harmony with every flower, tree, and creature. The fairy guide hovered gracefully beside you, wings shimmering faintly in the moonlight. She gestured toward the trees, flowers, and streams as if encouraging you to listen closely. The familiar glowed softly at your side, its presence comforting and reassuring. Together, the living elements of the garden formed a symphony of quiet magic, each note perfectly balanced, calming your mind and opening your heart to wonder. Softly, the flowers swayed, releasing tiny motes of glowing pollen that drifted in the air, moving in rhythm with the melody. Streams of water rippled gently, reflecting silver moonlight, while tiny creatures, glowing birds, luminous rabbits, and fireflies, moved gracefully to the cadence of the garden's song. Every element contributed a delicate layer to the symphony, creating a magical harmony that enveloped the entire clearing as you walked slowly through the heart of the garden. You noticed patterns forming in the light and movement around you. The song carried stories, tales of fairies who had tended the garden for centuries, creatures learning to live in harmony, and of magical flowers that responded to gentle care. The melody was not loud or commanding. It was a soft, persistent rhythm, inviting you to slow your breathing, quiet your thoughts, and let the garden's gentle wisdom wash over you. The familiar nudged your hand toward a patch of glowing flowers. As you leaned closer, the song seemed to harmonize with your heartbeat. Petals swayed in synchrony, reflecting the faint silver and gold of the moonlight, and soft whispers of the garden's magic brushed gently against your mind. The experience was serene and meditative, teaching that magic is not always a grand spectacle, but is often found in harmony, rhythm, and attentiveness. The fairy guide drifted above a small pond, where the water shimmered in response to the melody. Tiny ripples reflected constellations from the night sky, and soft, glowing fish moved gracefully beneath the surface. The garden's song seemed to extend through the pond, the pathways, and the glowing groves, connecting every element in a gentle symphony. You felt yourself drawn into the rhythm, your breathing aligning with the subtle waves of magic, and your thoughts slowing to a peaceful, steady calm. Walking through the clearing, you noticed the air shimmer with tiny sparkles, the glowing fireflies weaving patterns in response to the song. The familiar's glow pulsed softly, mirroring the ebb and flow of the melody. You understood that this was the heart of the garden's magic, a song not only to be heard, but to be felt, allowing your spirit to connect deeply with the serene beauty of the enchanted realm. Finally, you settled on a soft patch of moss beneath a tree whose leaves shimmered like spun silver. The song of the garden surrounded you completely, a gentle embrace of light, melody, and magic. Your breath slowed, your heartbeat softened, and a sense of calm settled deep within your mind. Every note, every shimmer, and every subtle movement reminded you of the harmony, patience, and gentle care that nurtured the garden with eyes closed. You allowed the song of the garden to wash over you, carrying you into a dreamlike state. The fairy guide, the familiar, and the softly glowing flora wrapped around you like a protective blanket, guiding you toward serene rest and preparing you for the final, peaceful conclusion of your journey in the Fairy Queen's garden, the moonlit. Farewell. After experiencing the song of the garden, a profound calm settled over you. The familiar glowed softly at your side. The fairy guide hovered gracefully. The gentle hum of magic wrapped around the paths, streams, and glowing flowers. The garden seemed to breathe with you, exhaling a quiet serenity that touched every part of your heart. You knew that your journey through the Fairy Queen's garden was reaching its final, peaceful chapter, the moonlit farewell. Following a gently winding path, the fairy guide led you to a serene glade where the moonlight pooled like liquid silver. Tiny stars seemed to hang just above the garden, their soft glow reflected in the petals of flowers and the surface of a small crystalline pond. The air was thick with magic, but calm and comforting, not overwhelming, but like a gentle hug for your soul. The Fairy Queen appeared in the center of the glade, her form radiant yet soft. Her wings shimmered gently, casting delicate patterns of light across the surrounding flora. She smiled warmly, her presence carrying a quiet reassurance that filled your heart with serenity, though she did not speak aloud. The melody that surrounded her seemed to convey every word: gratitude for your care, encouragement for your journey, and a blessing for peaceful dreams ahead. You have walked with patience and wonder, the Queen's gentle song seemed to say. You have observed, listened, and embraced the magic with a gentle heart. Now it is time to rest, carrying the garden's wisdom and serenity into your dreams and beyond. You stepped closer to the pond, and the familiar padded softly beside you, its glow pulsing in harmony with the moonlight. The water shimmered gently, reflecting the sky above, the glowing flowers, and your own reflection. Tiny motes of light floated lazily above the surface, drifting with the soft rhythm of the garden. You dipped your fingers into the cool, luminous water, feeling the calm energy spread through your mind and body, like liquid peace wrapping around your senses. The fairy guide circled gently, guiding you to a soft patch of moss at the edge of the pond. You sat down, feeling the familiar curl beside your legs and the Queen's gentle aura enveloping you. The garden's magic pulsed in soft waves, a lullaby of light, sound, and gentle energy. The petals of flowers brushed softly against your skin in the breeze. The streams whispered a quiet melody, and tiny creatures moved gracefully in rhythm with the serene harmony of the glade. As you leaned back, eyes closing, you realized that the moonlit farewell was more than a goodbye. It was a blessing. The Fairy Queen's garden had shared its secrets, taught its lessons, and welcomed you into its serene world. Every flower, stream, creature, and glimmering light had imparted a message of patience, mindfulness, and gentle magic. You felt your thoughts slow, your breathing deepen, and your heartbeat align with the rhythm of the enchanted night. Finally, the garden's hum softened into a gentle lullaby. The familiar's glow dimmed to a comforting warmth, and the Fairy Queen's presence shimmered softly as she drifted into the moonlight. The pond reflected a final image of tranquility, and the magic of the garden wrapped around you like a protective blanket. You allowed yourself to drift fully into the calm, serene embrace of the Fairy Queen's garden, carrying its wisdom, beauty, and gentle magic into your dreams. Tonight, you would sleep deeply, cradled in the soft glow of the enchanted garden, knowing that the lessons of patience, observation, and harmony would remain with you, guiding your heart through dreams and into peaceful mornings to come. The fountain of dreams as you wandered deeper into the glowing grove, a soft melody reached your ears, carried on the gentle rustle of leaves and the distant trickle of water. Following the enchanting sound, you came upon a hidden clearing where the ground glimmered faintly beneath the moonlight. At its center, a delicate fountain shimmered softly, its waters glowing like liquid silver. This was the Fountain of Dreams, a place of gentle magic, reflection, and peaceful visions. The fountain's water bubbled quietly, the ripples spreading soft light across the surrounding flowers and mossy stones. Each droplet seemed alive, reflecting the moon and stars above, while carrying a subtle hum of magic. Tiny sparkles floated above the water, drifting lazily through the air like suspended starlight. The scene was serene, enchanting, and perfect for inviting your mind into calm and dreamlike rest. Beside the fountain, the fairy guide appeared, her wings catching the glow of the magical waters. She gestured for you to approach carefully, and the familiar padded beside you, its soft light blending with the silver shimmer of the fountain. As you knelt by the edge, a gentle mist rose from the water, curling around your hands and face, carrying faint whispers of visions yet to come. Softly, the grimoire's magic seemed to extend into the fountain, and as you touched the water, you felt a subtle pulse of energy. The water shimmered and shifted, revealing images within its surface. You saw moonlit forests, rivers sparkling with starlight, and creatures moving gracefully among glowing plants. Each vision was calm and mesmerizing, flowing in harmony with the soft hum of the garden. The Fountain of Dreams invited you to not only watch, but to feel the magic and let it wash over your thoughts. The fairy guide gestured toward the fountain's center, where the water glowed more intensely. The Fountain of Dreams, she seemed to say without words, reveals what your heart is ready to see. It teaches reflection, imagination, and gentle observation. Drink from it with respect, and the visions will guide your mind to peace. You dipped your fingers into the water, and tiny ripples danced outward, carrying soft silver light to the surrounding trees and flowers. The visions grew clearer, showing scenes of fairies tending the garden, planting luminous seeds, and nurturing the magic of the land with patience and care. You realized that the fountain's magic was teaching more than imagination. It was teaching mindfulness, serenity, and harmony. The familiar moved gently beside you, its glow pulsing in rhythm with the fountain's gentle flow. Tiny fireflies hovered above the water, their light blending with the rippling reflections, creating a mesmerizing, hypnotic dance. The air seemed to hum softly, combining the melody of water, wings, and whispering leaves into a lullaby that wrapped around your senses. You settled onto a moss-covered stone near the fountain, letting the silver glow and gentle hum surround you. The water's magic flowed through your mind, slowing your thoughts, easing your heartbeat, inviting your imagination to wander through calm, enchanted visions. The garden seemed to hold its breath, allowing you to absorb its serene wisdom fully, with the Fountain of Dreams before you. The Fairy Queen's garden shared yet another secret. Magic is not only in spells or glowing lights, but in quiet reflection, gentle observation, and mindful attention. As your eyes closed softly, the silver waters, glowing flowers, and soothing presence of your companions carried you gently toward dreamlike rest. Ready for the next adventure in the heart of the garden. The secret pathways, after spending time at the Fountain of Dreams. You rose and followed the familiar as it led you along a narrow, glowing path. The soft silver light of the fountain lingered in your eyes, and the air shimmered faintly with lingering magic. Tiny sparks floated in the breeze, and the petals of nearby flowers glowed as if acknowledging your presence. Ahead, the path split into delicate, hidden roots, the secret pathways of the Fairy Queen's garden, revealed only to those who walked with patience, care, and curiosity. The fairy guide hovered nearby, her translucent wings reflecting soft moonlight. She gestured to the branching paths, and you noticed faint runes glowing along the edges of the moss-covered stones, guiding your choice. Each pathway seemed alive, responding to your gaze and gentle movements, inviting you to explore slowly, to absorb every detail, and to let your heart guide you forward, stepping carefully onto one of the pathways. You felt a gentle pulse of energy beneath your feet, like the garden itself was welcoming you. The path wound softly between glowing trees, delicate flowers, and tiny streams that shimmered with silver light. Each step seemed to release faint motes of sparkling magic into the air. twinkling like stars drifting lazily through the night. The secret pathways were not only physical routes, but channels of magic, teaching calm attention, patience, and gentle observation. As you moved deeper, the foliage above formed a natural canopy, filtering the moonlight into soft dancing patterns on the ground. Tiny glowing creatures peeked from behind leaves and branches, their presence quiet but comforting. Fireflies hovered near your hands, their light pulsing in harmony with the soft energy flowing along the path. Every detail of this magical corridor encouraged mindfulness, slowing your thoughts and focusing your attention on the serene beauty surrounding you at a small clearing. The path revealed a tiny grove filled with radiant flowers and delicate crystal formations. The familiar padded ahead, nuzzling a glowing stone, and the fairy guide pointed toward a shimmering arch of intertwined vines. The arch seemed to shift subtly, revealing a secret alcove behind it, a hidden space full of soft, glowing mushrooms, gently trickling streams, in tiny pools reflecting starlight. The secret pathways, you realized, were designed to reward careful attention and gentle movement, showing you hidden wonders that casual visitors would never notice. The whispers of the garden grew softer here, blending with the gentle trickle of water and the faint hum of magic in the air. The pathways seemed to move with you, guiding your steps, opening new views, and revealing enchanting scenes. Fireflies dancing in intricate patterns, petals drifting lazily to the ground, and miniature magical creatures performing subtle, mesmerizing tasks. Every element of the pathways carried a lesson that magic exists in observation, mindfulness, and harmony, and that true wonder is discovered slowly. With patience, you settled on a soft patch of moss beside a small glowing pool, letting the calm of the pathways wash over you. The familiar curled near your feet, and the fairy guide hovered softly above, wings shimmering in gentle light. You watched as tiny motes of magical energy floated through the air, reflecting the stars above and the silver glow of the moon. Every sound, every shimmer, every gentle movement of the garden wrapped your senses in serenity, easing your thoughts and inviting dreamlike rest. The secret pathways had revealed their quiet magic, hidden beauty, gentle guidance, and lessons in patience. As you closed your eyes softly, the glowing paths, humming streams, and warm presence of your companions carried you into a state of deep calm, ready for the next enchanted adventure in the Fairy Queen's garden. After walking through the heart of the Fairy Queen's garden, the soft glow of moonlight and flower petals guided your path to a quiet clearing. The air shimmered faintly, and a gentle hum of magic filled the space, a lullaby woven by the garden itself. As you stepped forward, you noticed tiny lights beginning to flicker among the trees, delicate, floating orbs that twinkled like captured stars. These were the dancing fireflies, magical beings whose movements told the stories of the garden. The familiar moved at your side, its soft glow blending with the twinkling lights, and the fairy guide hovered nearby, urging you to watch closely. The fireflies rose higher into the air, forming gentle arcs and swirling patterns. Their movements were slow, mesmerizing, and perfectly synchronized, creating a soft, hypnotic dance that seemed designed to calm the mind and open the heart to wonder. As you watched, the fireflies began to form subtle shapes in the air, delicate patterns resembling flowers, trees, and flowing streams. They created soft visual stories of the garden's history, the fairies who had tended it for centuries, and the magical creatures that called it home. The gentle light of the fireflies flickered in time with the melody that drifted through the air, a harmonious song that seemed to come from the garden itself. You stepped closer, and a few fireflies floated near your hands, their light brushing your fingertips with a faint warmth. Their presence was gentle, inviting, and comforting. You realized that this dance was not just for beauty, It was a lesson in attention, observation, and mindfulness. To fully see their stories, you needed to slow your breath, quiet your thoughts, and let the rhythm of their dance guide your mind into calm. The fairy guide gestured to a cluster of fireflies forming a luminous arch above a soft, mossy path. As you passed beneath it, the glowing light shifted to create new shapes, tiny wings, swirling leaves, and streams of silver light. Each pattern seemed to tell a piece of a story, revealing secrets of the garden that could only be understood by those who watched, carefully and approached with patience. Beside the stream, the dancing fireflies gathered near glowing flowers, creating a shimmering tapestry of light on the petals. The soft hum of their energy merged with the gentle gurgle of water, the whispering of leaves, and the subtle melody carried by the breeze. Every element of the garden worked in harmony, encouraging your mind to slow, your heart to open, and your senses to soak in the tranquil magic surrounding you. You noticed that some fireflies responded to your movements, rising higher when you lifted your hand, or spinning gently when you inhaled deeply. The familiar nudged your palm, reminding you to stay present and enjoy the subtle flow of magic. You understood that the fireflies were teachers, showing that magic is often gentle, patient, and full of quiet lessons, sitting on a soft patch of moss. You watched as the fireflies' dance continued, forming intricate, ever-changing patterns. Their light and movement created a lullaby for your eyes and mind, a perfect combination of wonder and calm. Your breath slowed, your thoughts softened, and the gentle rhythm of the dancing fireflies lulled you into a state of serene relaxation as you closed your eyes. The soft glow of the garden, the delicate hum of magic, and the fireflies' soothing dance wrapped around you like a protective blanket. The Fairy Queen's garden had shared another secret, teaching patience, focus, and the quiet joy of observing the world with care. You felt ready to drift into dreams, carried by the gentle rhythm of the magical night, the glowing grove leaving, the clearing of the dancing fireflies behind. You followed a gentle path deeper into the Fairy Queen's garden. The moonlight filtered softly through the trees, and the air shimmered with magic that felt alive, wrapping around you like a warm, comforting blanket. Each step brought a sense of calm, as though the garden itself was guiding you toward a place of quiet wonder, the glowing grove. The grove unfolded before you like a dream. Towering trees lined the area, their leaves shimmering with soft, luminescent colors, greens tinged with silver, gold and faint blues that reflected the gentle glow of moonlight. Flowers grew along the moss-covered paths, glowing softly in response to your presence, and delicate vines curled gracefully around the trunks of the ancient trees. The air carried a soft fragrance of blossoms, mingling with the faint hum of magical energy, creating an atmosphere of serenity. Tiny magical creatures moved among the grove, adding life and gentle movement. Birds with feathers that glimmered like dew fluttered between branches. Glowing rabbits peeked from behind shrubs, and small, luminous insects drifted lazily in the air. The familiar padded at your side, its soft glow blending with the colors of the grove, as though helping to illuminate the subtle magic hidden in every corner. As you wandered along the mossy paths, you noticed the trees themselves seemed to respond to your presence. Leaves shifted slightly, casting patterns of light across the ground, and the trunks emitted a soft, comforting warmth. Each step you took caused tiny bursts of glowing pollen to rise from the flowers, drifting like gentle snowflakes in the moonlit air. The garden was alive, and it welcomed you with quiet reverence, inviting your mind to slow and your heart to open. The fairy guide appeared again, her wings shimmering softly in the grove's gentle light. She gestured toward a small clearing where the trees' glow intensified, forming natural arches overhead. Stepping beneath them, you felt a deep sense of peace, as though you had entered the heart of the garden's magic. Here, the whispers of the flowers, the soft hum of the trees, and the glowing presence of creatures all merged into a perfect harmony, teaching you that true magic exists in observation, care, and balance, moving carefully through the grove. You notice subtle signs of the garden's wisdom. Small crystal clusters grew near the roots of trees, glowing faintly, resonating with the gentle pulse of the forest. Streams of silver water trickled from hidden springs, reflecting the soft light above and carrying a soothing melody through the air. Every detail seemed intentional, a delicate balance maintained by the garden itself, demonstrating patience, mindfulness, and the beauty of harmony. The familiar paused beside a glowing flower, nudging your hand gently toward it. As you touched the petals, soft visions appeared, scenes of fairies tending the grove, planting seeds and caring for every living thing with attention and love. You felt a sense of connection, understanding that the garden thrived because of gentle care and respect. And that magic in this place was not flashy or hurried, but quiet, deliberate, and serene, sitting on a soft patch of moss beneath a luminous tree. You allowed the calm energy of the glowing grove to wrap around you. The soft glow of leaves, the gentle sounds of water and wings, and the warmth of the familiar created a cocoon of serenity. You felt your thoughts slow, your heartbeat ease, and your mind settle into a peaceful rhythm. The Fairy Queen's garden had shared yet another secret, that magic is found in quiet observation, in patience, and in the gentle care of all living things. With the soft glow of the grove surrounding you, your mind drifted into calm reflection, ready to continue the journey deeper into the enchanted heart of the garden. The silver stream as you followed the winding path deeper into the Fairy Queen's garden. The soft glow of the whispering flowers gradually faded into the gentle shimmer of moonlight on water. A delicate sound reached your ears, the faint soothing gurgle of a stream. Its melody was subtle, like a lullaby flowing through the night air, calling you toward its source. The familiar, gentle rhythm of flowing water seemed to harmonize perfectly with the whispers of the garden, inviting calm and serenity with every step, peering through the trees. You discovered the silver stream, its waters sparkling with a light of their own, reflecting the stars above and the soft glow of glowing plants along its banks. The stream's surface shimmered as if liquid moonlight had settled upon it, and tiny ripples sent waves of silver dancing across the water. You noticed faint shapes moving beneath the surface, small, luminescent fish that glided gracefully, leaving sparkling trails behind them. Their movements perfectly synchronized with the melody of the flowing water. Tiny water sprites hovered just above the stream, their translucent wings catching the moonlight. They darted from ripple to ripple, leaving trails of soft, silvery light in their wake. As you approached, one sprite lingered near your hand, almost as if inviting you to touch the shimmering water. You did so gently, and a soft pulse of magic spread outward, sending sparkles dancing along the banks and creating tiny glowing reflections on the surrounding flowers and leaves. The familiar padded quietly beside you, its glow soft but reassuring, and the fairy guide appeared gracefully over a cluster of moonlit stones. Without a word, she gestured toward the stream, and the hum of the garden's magic seemed to intensify. The silver stream, you realized, was not merely a beautiful feature, it was alive, carrying energy and memories from the heart of the garden. Its waters told stories of the creatures, fairies, and enchanted plants that thrived here for centuries, each ripple preserving the serenity and harmony of the magical realm. You knelt beside the stream and watched the water swirl gently, shimmering with countless reflections. Tiny lights danced on the surface, creating visions of enchanted forests, hidden groves, and gentle creatures bathing in moonlit pools. The magic here was subtle but profound. It taught patience, calm, and attentiveness. Each ripple seemed to whisper softly, guiding your mind toward quiet reflection and gentle relaxation. As you traced the edges of the stream with your fingertips, as the familiar nuzzled gently against your hand. Its presence, combined with the soft sound of water and the moonlit glow, wrapped your senses in a comforting embrace. The fairy guide floated above the stream, her wings casting delicate patterns of light across the water. She seemed to communicate through her gentle movements, encouraging you to listen not only with your ears, but with your heart. You followed the stream as it wound gracefully through the garden, discovering hidden pools and tiny waterfalls that shimmered like spun silver. Fireflies hovered above the water, and the subtle hum of the garden's magic enveloped you, creating a cocoon of serenity that slowed your thoughts and softened your breath. The silver stream was teaching you that magic was not always grand or loud. It was found in gentle currents, in reflective waters, and in quiet, deliberate observation. Finally, you settled on a moss-covered bank, letting the soft glow of the stream wash over you. Its calm rhythm and the serene presence of the familiar and the fairy guide filled your mind with peace. The silver stream had revealed its quiet magic, a meditation in motion, a gentle lullaby of flowing light and calm energy. You closed your eyes, letting the soothing melody of water, light, and magic lull you into a deep, restful state, ready for the next enchanting steps in the Fairy Queen's garden. Meeting the Fairy Queen following the gentle flow of the silver stream, you felt a soft pull guiding you through the garden, as if the magic itself wished to lead you forward. The mist curling over the water sparkled faintly in the moonlight, and the air carried a delicate fragrance of blooming flowers and fresh earth. Every step you took seemed lighter and your mind calmer, as though the garden itself was preparing you for a moment of wonder you had only dreamed about the first meeting with the Fairy Queen. Through a glimmering arch of flowering vines, you entered a hidden clearing bathed in soft, radiant light. At its center stood a figure of delicate beauty and serene power, glowing faintly as if illuminated from within. Her wings shimmered like spun silver and gold, and her presence radiated warmth, calm, and infinite kindness. The Fairy Queen had appeared, welcoming you to the heart of her enchanted domain. She walked gracefully toward you, the tips of her wings leaving trails of soft, sparkling light in the air. Though she said nothing aloud, a gentle melody seemed to accompany her movements, carried on the air like a whispering song. You felt immediately at ease, your heartbeat slowing, your thoughts quieting, as if every nerve and muscle in your body relaxed under her serene gaze. The fairy guide who had accompanied you from the beginning hovered beside the queen, gesturing for you to approach. As you stepped forward, the queen extended her hand. The soft pulse of magic spread from her palm, wrapping you in warmth and calm. The garden itself seemed to respond to her presence. Flowers leaned slightly in greeting, streams shimmered with new brilliance, and tiny creatures paused to watch respectfully. You have arrived with a gentle heart. The queen's voice seemed to echo softly in your mind, melodic and tender. The garden has watched your steps, the flowers have whispered to you, and the waters have guided your path. You are ready to witness the harmony of this realm and learn its quiet wisdom. As you walked beside her, she guided you through the garden's wonders. Flowers bent to create archways, revealing hidden groves, and glowing mushrooms lit subtle paths along moss-covered stones. Tiny fairies flitted around, their wings scattering trails of sparkling light, and the familiar at your side moved in harmony with the flow of magic. Reassuring you as you followed, every step revealed a small lesson. The garden thrived on care, patience, and attention. Streams glimmered when approached gently, leaves swayed when touched with respect. and creatures responded to the calm energy of your presence. The fairy queen moved effortlessly through it all, her soft aura amplifying the magic in every corner. You realized that she was not only a guardian, but also a teacher, showing by example how to move through a magical world with serenity and awareness. Reaching a soft glade in the center of the garden, the queen gestured toward a bed of glowing flowers. "Here," she seemed to say through the gentle hum in the air, "all who enter may rest, reflect, and open their hearts. The garden's magic flows through those who listen with care, and it will guide you toward peace, calm, and dreams full of wonder." You sat on a soft patch of moss, leaning back as the queen's aura wrapped the garden in a gentle embrace. The flowing streams, the whispering flowers, and the faint glow of fireflies combined into a perfect lullaby. Your breath slowed, your heartbeat softened, and a sense of calm washed over you. The fairy queen's presence was not just inspiring, it was a gentle, guiding magic, a lullaby for your mind and soul, preparing you for peaceful rest. As your eyes closed briefly, you allowed the queen's soft energy and the serene garden to wrap around you, carrying your thoughts into a calm, dreamlike state. You understood now that the magic of this garden was not only in its beauty, but in its guidance, its teaching patience, harmony, and the gentle art of listening with the heart. Deep within an ancient forest, where the trees stretched tall, and their leaves whispered softly in the evening breeze, there lay a secret that few had ever discovered: the entrance to the fairy queen's garden. The path leading to it was overgrown with ferns and ivy, and the air shimmered faintly with magic. Dew glistened on every leaf, reflecting the soft silver glow of the moon. You had heard whispers of this hidden garden in old tales, but nothing could have prepared you for the moment you first laid eyes upon its entrance. The gate itself was ancient, crafted from twisted vines and silver filigree, glowing faintly in the moonlight. Tiny flowers bloomed along its edges, their petals illuminated as if kissed by starlight. When you stepped closer, you felt a gentle pulse of warmth and energy emanating from the gate, inviting you forward. A soft hum filled the air, the sound delicate and melodic, like a lullaby sung by the forest itself. Pushing aside a strand of glowing ivy, your fingers brushed the gate. It shivered softly under your touch, and the soft hum grew louder, resonating gently in your chest. Slowly, as if recognizing your presence, the gate began to open, revealing a world of wonder beyond. A soft mist curled along the ground, sparkling faintly, and the scent of blooming flowers and fresh earth filled your senses. The garden lay before you like a dream, vibrant, alive, and entirely magical. The garden was not vast, but it was exquisitely detailed. Soft paths of moss wound between beds of flowers that glowed in colors you had never seen before. Violet petals that shimmered with silver edges, golden blooms that reflected the moonlight, and blue blossoms that seemed to glow from within. Tiny lights floated among the flowers, dancing gently like miniature stars brought to life. The air was filled with a faint melody, a harmony of whispers, rustling leaves, and distant bird songs that made your heart feel calm and serene. As you stepped forward, the soft mist parted, and you noticed delicate creatures flitting among the flowers, tiny fairies with translucent wings, glowing softly, moving gracefully through the air. They paused to watch you, their eyes sparkling with curiosity and gentle warmth. Though small, their presence carried a profound sense of serenity, as if they were guardians of this enchanted place, welcoming you to witness its wonders. Following a narrow path, you felt the soft hum of magic growing stronger, guiding your steps toward the heart of the garden. Each flower you passed seemed to respond to your presence, petals leaning slightly in your direction, releasing faint trails of sparkling pollen that drifted lazily in the moonlit air. Tiny animals with gentle, glowing eyes peeked from behind bushes and trees, observing silently yet kindly. Every element of the garden seemed alive, tuned to harmony and gentle attention. You reached a small clearing where a crystal fountain bubbled softly, its waters glowing with silver light. The sound of the trickling water mixed with the soft hum of magic in the air, creating a lullaby that seemed designed to soothe and calm the mind. You realized that the garden was not only beautiful, but alive in every sense. Every flower, every leaf, every creature contributing to the gentle pulse of serenity that flowed through the space leaning against a moss-covered stone. You closed your eyes briefly, letting the magic of the garden wash over you. The soft glow of flowers, the gentle song of the air, and the welcoming hum of the gate combined into a perfect moment of peace. You felt your heart beat slow, your thoughts drift, and a quiet smile settle on your lips. The Fairy Queen's garden had welcomed you. And this was only the beginning of the magical journey. The whispering flowers as you wandered deeper into the Fairy Queen's garden. The soft glow of moonlight and floating lights guided your path. The air shimmered faintly, carrying a sweet, gentle fragrance that seemed to change with every step. A mixture of blooming flowers, fresh earth, and a hint of magic. Every sound, from the rustle of leaves to the soft gurgle of distant streams, blended into a soothing melody, inviting your heart to relax and your mind to drift into calm wonder. The flowers along the path seemed alive in a way that was almost magical. Petals glimmered with soft, radiant colors, deep violet edges lined with silver, golden blooms reflecting faint moonlight, and soft blue flowers that glowed from within. As you approached, the flowers seemed to lean toward you, their movements subtle and gentle, almost as if they were acknowledging your presence. A soft, melodic hum began to fill the air, a delicate song that seemed to come from the flowers themselves. The fairy guide you had noticed earlier appeared gracefully among the blooms, her delicate wings shimmering softly in the gentle light. Without words, she motioned toward a cluster of flowers that glowed brighter than the rest. As you reached out to touch a petal, a soft whisper tickled your mind. Listen carefully, traveler. We have stories to share, lessons to teach, and wonders to reveal. You realized that the flowers themselves were communicating, not with words spoken aloud, but with subtle vibrations, shifts in light, and gentle melodies. Each petal seemed to carry a memory, a fragment of the garden's history, or a small piece of wisdom from the Fairy Queen herself. The whispers were calming, almost like a lullaby, guiding your thoughts into quiet reflection while encouraging your imagination to wander. Some flowers glowed in patterns, creating delicate symbols in the air, as if illustrating the stories they carried. You could sense histories of the garden, times when fairies danced beneath the moon. Rivers sparkled with starlight, and magical creatures roamed freely among glowing trees. Every flower seemed to have its own personality, its own soft magic. Responding gently to the presence of a respectful visitor, the fairy guide nudged you gently toward a small grove where the flowers' whispers grew louder, more melodic. You knelt beside a cluster of blossoms, feeling the hum of magic beneath your fingertips. Each flower's glow pulsed softly with your heartbeat, creating a rhythm that matched the garden itself. You felt a deep connection to this place, understanding that the flowers were not simply decorative, they were guardians of memory, magic, and serenity. Soft wings brushed your cheek as the fairy whispered guidance. The garden speaks to those who listen with heart and mind, she seemed to say. Every bloom is alive, every melody meaningful. Walk carefully, touch gently, and let the whispers guide your thoughts. As you continued through the grove, you noticed tiny glowing insects flitting from flower to flower, adding a soft sparkle to the gentle light. The whispers merged with the hum of the air and the distant trickle of a stream, creating a symphony of calm that seemed to wrap around you like a warm blanket. Your heartbeat slowed, your thoughts softened, and the magic of the whispering flowers lulled your mind toward peaceful relaxation. Leaning against a mossy stone beneath a glowing cluster of blossoms, you closed your eyes briefly, allowing the flower's gentle hum to sink into your heart. Each whisper, each glow, each delicate movement reminded you of the harmony of the garden, the care of its inhabitants, and the serenity of the magical world around you. You understood that this garden had chosen to reveal itself slowly in whispers and soft melodies, preparing your mind for the gentle adventure that awaited in the heart of the Fairy Queen's garden.